see what you're angling for. You banned the Cassante away from clear. Ahri is taken away, which can work well with Wukong, and can just shut down the Lucian when he wants to dash forward and make a play. So, it's going to be the answer here is the big question. Solo laner's completely unknown for Gen G. Can just get the counter pick here for Chovy if he has a great answer right now that he's planning on playing. The Akali you mentioned, one of those counter picks that's left. Or keep it a secret.
Annie
Wukong. It's an old one, but it's a good one. You know, it was one of Ryu's favorites during the struggle times back on when he was on BNK. It was a gold classic. Keep it simple, we said back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. Certainly fantastic snap engage. Works well with the Wukong. Thinking about the Mundo here for Raptors, so that's going to be the lock-in.
I think that's very smart. Just any sort of front line for this Lucian now. Let the Annie stuns get absorbed by a target that doesn't care. The Mundo, the Scion both fit the bill. And if it were almost any other player than Diablo, I would just not trust this draft. But it is Diablo. I do think, given the right circumstances, and if he plays well, this is a great tool to set him up.
Yeah, do it.
It did not work for him last Kespa Cup final, or sorry, LCK Cup finals.
It's okay. This time is different.
He did get a great. We got a great cosplay out of it from Wadid as well.
Yeah. I think it's happening. Come on. No. Aatrox.
I still think this is quite fun as well. I think that I will enjoy this personally quite a bit.
One of the rip for game number 3.
Minions has spawned.
Here we go. Game number 3 begins now. Diablo on his Lucian. And Chovy's like, you know what? I played Galio, and now I'm going to play Annie. I don't need to be the one who is making the ridiculous flashy plays. I'll play the simple champs and make crazy plays anyway. We saw his Galio in the last game was able to get that flank, and really, as our space highlighted, that was kind of the one fight that broke the game open more than anything else.
For anyone who's ever been a Lucian with a tempo advantage, you know, say you're coming out of lane with 2 kills when you're in the mid lane, you know that you are going to be high agency. Your team wants to play through you. You know that it's almost like the fantasy of any Lucian player is to have that advantage and go, all right, now let me see target, kill target. I'm going to dash forward. I'm going to have the support of my team. I'm going to take every risk, but my damage will back it up. But then imagine losing control of the map after trying to make any of those plays. You mess it up just one time. And now you're like, I got to still dash forward. I got to make those plays. I got to catch those targets. But at any moment in time, if you can't see, there's a Wukong, there's an Annie, there's a Nico somewhere where you don't know. You have to still be confident to make those plays. We're going to see a trade back here from Ruler with the Q coming out. Won't lead to anything. But as Diablo, you're going to have to be willing to play like a psychopath. And that is what he is well known for. And to be able to pull it off and to walk that fine line in this mid game is going to be what this is all about for BNK. And you know what? If this is how they die, if this is how they lose in this series through this type of drafting and through that crazy play, I think even BNK fans will respect it because it's what you love. It's what you're here for.
Yeah.
But it is going to be a fun one. I can guarantee you that.
It's definitely important to note what's going on here in the mid lane. The Annie with supreme auto range. This is the best way to play Annie, is to just continue poking bit by bit, auto by auto, and the Azir, you know, he puts down a soldier, maybe he gets a shot or two, and then the Annie just kind of walks around him and has range advantage and will always be very annoying in terms of winning in the harass battle. So Vikla's going to have to take a relatively early back. And, you know, keep in mind, Chovy still he holds on to his stun, has electrocute, so if any kind of burst play comes out, the Annie also going to be strong there.
Absolutely. Yeah, the electrocute and the stun always stacking on top of that, just chipping auto damage. It will become harder and harder to make those types of plays and build those advantages later on, but in the early levels, it is pretty straightforward. Ends up getting a small CS advantage over Vikla as he takes the later TP back. Ruler will be cut off very briefly from Duro here. And in the top lane, we haven't really taken a look at it. It's Aatrox into Sion. Aatrox wants to keep measured aggression. Diablo is very low on mana, gets the level up. I don't really think he can push anything further here. Should be backing as soon as possible.
You see the stuns come out in mid. It should be Chovying on a champion like this as well. So that's something we always have to note. When Chovy is in the game, he will look to Chovy and get very far ahead.
The red dots do disappear around him.
Yes. Vikla, nice trade here, goes in with the shield and eventually gets Chovy extremely low. But Potion was still available here for Chovy, as was the refillable for Vikla. So pretty nice trade overall from the side of Vikla.
Yeah, we do have the support in the mid lane here, trying to really push Chovy out of lane because he already used his TP. It's really not going to amount to too much. Raptor's going to come over here and try to take the Raptor camp, as is his namesake.
Duro here, and now Raptor is getting punched down just a little bit, but Canyon goes in. The double bubble is going to land immediately on both of them, but no follow-up as they're quite deep in the jungle. And they say, well, we don't want to overextend too much. Not at this point in the game.
This does pull Genji around the map pretty significantly as Diablo is backing. Gets back to lane with a serrated Dirk without really any loss here. Chovy hits level 6. This is actually a tense moment when he has ult advantage, even though he's down on health a little bit.
Tempo tippers. Throw the tempo tippers. He's going to do it. There it is. Drops it down. Electric comes out, and Vikla's like, oh, I guess I have to respect this.
It's just so incredibly powerful. Get the tippers on top. And that will be back traded. So as that wave is cleared, we love the tempo tippers. As this is a really tough lane to push advantages on further than what they have right now at this stage. Like, they have the Dirk. And as long as Duro and Ruler don't make mistakes, you don't get caught by a bubble. It's hard for Diablo to have kill pressure, but crashing these waves in may force some jungle attention. But the bigger win is that Hextech Dragon has spawned, and we do have Raptor taking it here. And unfortunately for Canyon, he's not level 6 yet on this Wukong. Difficult to challenge, but I mean, I've said it. Canyon, I don't know about this. I've said, Canyon, I don't know about this. Someone
no! Not again! He does it again!
This cannot keep happening!
And Raptor's like already backing off. He's like, I have to respect this. Oh yeah, it's just a done deal. I know he's gonna steal it away. I just don't know how this keeps happening.
It's unreal. It's unreal! You're already front runner for POM, Canyon. And this is the one pressure point they really had. And they no longer can utilize barrier.
Oh, look at this. Diablo, he's getting chunked out. And he's gonna have to back off the play. And there is a pause.
Hope it's
going to get into the game now. As Clear immediately is in trouble. Has to flash away. Keen does not follow flash. But not having a fun time up here.
Looks like we had some rejoining of the game, as implied by those players saying that they left the game. They're in fact in the game. So, like, for now, that might have been enough to resolve the issue. And now we're looking for a potential crash in this bottom lane. The ult from Clear back to the top lane. As to recap, oh, hold up.
Culling, it comes in there. Duro tries to throw out the clone. It is going to catch the clone. Diablo goes in and nearly takes Duro's head off, forces the flash away. And now looking for more. Ruler's got to be careful. He's got that Q charged up, but he is not going to pull the trigger just yet on the ult.
Ruler has flash. Diablo has to be really careful. Kellen doesn't have heal and doesn't have his ult. So I think that's kind of the end of it. Even though he wants to push the issue further, he just doesn't have the tools anymore. Just to give a slight recap, the dragon was stolen again by Canyon. And bottom side control went back to the side of Ruler and Duro. As you guys could see, there's a small CS lead there. Chovy's laning phase has been immaculate, utilizing the early range from Annie. You mentioned the auto attack range, chip away the poke. And there were some jungle resources given. And it is going to be Grubs going over to Genji here, uncontested, as Canyon is the man of the objectives tonight.
Yeah. And much in the way that yesterday was pretty one-sided, stomp towards the side of BNK, it does feel like we're getting similar energy here tonight. You know, I was hoping for at least one of these series to go 4, maybe 5. My prediction was 3-2 Genji. I thought BNK looked in great form, and yes, Genji should be the favorites. But just feels like, you know, so far maybe it's the energy of the crowd, or maybe Gen.G are just that much better than everybody else, that they just have not looked like Gen.G's match tonight. And I really hope that BNK keep fighting. You know, they don't just back down and stop playing the game. I really hope that we can get some good League of Legends here in this game.
It's just Canyon kind of breaking their backs as Raptor is going to come over here. And speaking of Canyon,
he's pretty deep in the jungle. I mean, this is a Mundo, so maybe he does get to go wherever he wants, but eventually probably going to have to flash this wall, and there he goes. That's the flash away from them. Vikla able to get the Tibbers out of Chovy, as he was taking an aggressive trade at the same time.
Yeah, has no Emperor's Divide though, and it looks like this is just going to be river control back to Gen.G. Scuttle goes over, and it's a trade up for them again in a small trade.
Very nice dodge on Slurkle there, and dodging everything is Diablo. Barrier going to be forced out here. A lot of tense trades down on the bottom side, especially with Kenny down there. Diablo going back in, and now it's Ruler's turn to dash forward.
Down now,
yeah.
Diablo slows flash.
Vikla, okay. He is going to get stunned up, and Tibbers does follow here. And now we got Canyon just in there. A little bit of a jump scare from the jungle. Gets the flash out of Vikla.
Hard to say who that favors, actually, at the end of the day, because Azir can utilize Flash to be a little bit more aggressive and safe into Tibbers, but Wukong, even with the Warriors Trickster, very powerful to have the extra extension on Cyclone with the Flash. He's unable to get the kill there. Delays the back, though, and the tempo definitely feeling very much in Gen.G's hands. 1,000 gold is the lead, and about 562 of that is in this Aatrox in the top lane, so it's still a very playable game here for BNK. It's just these moments that where it feels like it's a foregone conclusion. Like, okay, yes, BNK have the Lucian lane that's in control. They have Dragon Prio, and Canyon steals it away. That makes you wonder, could they do it no matter what? Like, even if everything is given to them, if every opportunity is presented to them, will Canyon just snatch it away? It really is the reason why this 1,000 gold lead feels so much bigger than it truly is.
Yeah, it's really about the vibes, right? The feeling of... the tempo vibes are so heavily in Gen.G's favor after the way that Game 2 went, and now the start of Game 1 brings back those bad memories for BNK. That's really the main issue.
The good news for this Dragon is that Canyon is about half the map away. So
that'll help.
This one will go over. I mean, Ruler got the steal with the Ashe previously.
Against
so
Kalista. That was just crazy. No flash here for Vikla. Sun comes down. Chovy probably going to have to farm that one up again because he's got flash, and this is really where, well, okay, there's the stun as the divide does come through, though. Canyon gets pushed away. Very nice response here from Vikla. And now Raptor on the chase. No flash here for Chovy. Can't get away from the Mundo. But Canyon goes back in on a Vikla who's desperate to try to get the kill and just dies. First blood to Chovy as it gets messy, and Gen.G wins those.
Had they just walked away, would have felt so good for them. Getting Chovy's flash, the ult is dropped, the Emperor's Divide is so well timed. They got a little greedy on it, which I can totally understand in that scenario, but fortunately it is going to be another kill to Gen.G here. First blood. They have 3 grubs, and the lead gets bigger. Chovy's now...
Raptor, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Well, he doesn't have flash, and he does not have ult, but he's running away for now.
Chovy is 1,000 gold up. The Kraken Slayer is picked up here for Ruler. We haven't seen Diablo back just yet, but the next port of call is going to be the Rift Herald. And BNK, it's moments like this where you're like, okay, Vikla, well played. Has the Emperor's Divide angled correctly into the Wukong follow-up. And from here, you could push Chovy back and then just grab the wave. Instead, you push for the angle. Canyon has Cyclone, gets the second Cyclone. Vikla has to all in and is unsuccessful. And it could have been just as simple as being happy to have Chovy waste his flash. But there was some serious greed.
I feel like Raptor also could have just continued running after Chovy, but he tried to turn and peel for the Wukong, and then Vikla goes in, so the peel wasn't even really necessary. And I feel like Raptor from that position, he had another Heartsteel proc available on the Wukong. Could have just used it there. Canyon, either way, they're going at it once again. And Canyon not really going to win those, but he does have the red buff.
His ultimate is coming up in 10 seconds, and they're both coming up at the same time here. There's a Cyclone angle potentially if Diablo wants to overextend in and try to force the play. Canyon doesn't have flash, though. He's just going to walk away. All Diablo has to do is not get cycloned here.
All right,
That's
Vikla.
damage.
Yeah. Tempo Tibbers, once again, if you haven't watched Annie in a long time, it's so annoying to lane into because you just don't really get to lane. A lot of the times you're just sitting at like 10%, 20% health, a big engage down the bottom side. Junglers trying to read each other. Spell Immune once again is Raptor. Going in for the second charge. There's Cyclone, dangerous into the Mundo, but he's not going to overcommit.
The heal's coming through with the dodge on the bubble. I think that's kind of the end of it. It's this whole game, it's only 1 kill. But BNK fans got to be holding their breath the whole time.
It's 2,000 gold lead as well.
And it's all of the early control. It's the lane leads. You know, the lead here for Keen is almost doubled up to 900. With that 1 kill for Chobi, he goes up to 1,000. And there's your lead right there. And we've seen a few moments where it's a near turnaround for Diablo on the bottom side, a near catch for Raptor, a near punish for Vikla. And the game is still playable completely here for BNK. And they're going to have a really strong mid-game coming up. But they just don't have really any of what they would have liked. They would have loved to have the grubs in this game. They would have loved to have that first dragon, double dragon into Infernal Soul. That's such a huge lead. It's so important to have. But Gen G have bought themselves so much time with that steal alone. And now Canyon's on to this Herald. We're going to see a TP from Vikla and possibly just another one from Clear here for the contest. And that should be enough to push them off. Speaking of TP, Keen will match.
Yeah. Everybody's getting in here for the party. Interraptors still holding on to that shield. There it goes. Canyon still on this one. And look at Toby. He's got the angle. And look at Kellen. Where did he go? As the item completed. At least Raptor's able to get the Rift Herald, but not the Eye just yet. Vikla having a rough time. And they're just wailing on Clear here, who is going to pick up the Eye and just decide to go down for it. And Duro will be totally fine, but that's a couple extra kills for Gen G, and yeah, you got the Eye, but not worth in my book.
They get Keen, I don't think so. Jovi's still here. Stun almost prepped. And the burst damage of this Annie is coming in big. The teleport angle for Keen initially feels like it might be a bit greedy because he's going super deep. But BNK are just not confident with theirs. You know, the teleport that comes through from the Scion is super far away, and BNK cannot quickly decide which target they want to go for. And as they're trying to approach, Chovy is just like, surprise! Like, look at this. He's just in the banana brush. TP comes in here for Keen, and BNK are just like, we got to rush over. Clear is so far away. And Chovy's just like, I don't want the Scion. I want the Nami. And Clear is just like, what do I do now? He turns around, doesn't peel for Raptor, has to flash away.
Diablo's zoned by Tibbers.
There's just like no play here for BNK. They just have no in.
Yeah. And that's the thing about the Annie. Like, after the Annie was selected, they went Mundo Scion, and yeah, Annie's burst not great into those big beefy tanks, but Chovy with flash and insane burst damage, he doesn't have to target the tanks. Target literally anyone else, and you're gonna one-shot them. Or you can just target Raptor too. I guess that works out. You don't necessarily need the kill, as long as the jungler's nowhere near, and you're still gonna pick up the Drake.
Starting to feel like BNK just don't have anything in this, you know, as Clear is just gonna ult in and...
These are the two tanks, and now Diablo's like, well, I guess I'll try to do something, as is often asked of him, and now finally gonna find an angle here on a Duro. He is down. Vikla, important kill for him.
Also got the charge into the mid turret. The two small wins here. As it looks like Chovy is going to be completely fine. I don't know if completely fine really describes it. He's actually going to be completely happy with getting half of Vikla's health bar.
Yeah, this is the versus Annie experience. It's not a good one. Not a good one.
You and I flew from Seoul to Hong Kong. And if it's only 6 games we get, so be it, because that is the nature of competition.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't feel right. In these moments here, they get the Herald to drop. Clear's walking forward. Obviously doesn't have his ultimate here. Is trying to absorb pressure, but the second Diablo's like, okay, I'm ready to do damage. He gets Cyclone. The second Cyclone prevents him from following up. And then finally, Vikla is able to find this angle here. So that's a success. They end up getting the charge on the Herald. But they need so much more if they want to hope to come back in this game. Look at the item here for Rua, the second item that's put together. He's ahead of Diablo in that regard in terms of completions. We need to see Diablo get the opportunity to pop off hard in some of these upcoming fights. And with Dragon 3.5 minutes away, it feels like an eon. With the lack of side lane pressure here, I mean, Vicla's trying to set something up in the bottom lane, but he needs jungle attention. Otherwise, Chovy just drops bears on him. And that's the end of his push.
Yeah, every fight we've seen after we saw Imperial Mandate and the Stormrazor come out has just been somebody on BNK dying before Diablo could even get there. Or basically dying. This time, though, we are going to have a big calling it to Ruler. And look at the extension as well, as once again, the Tidal Wave does come out. But Duro fast enough to run away from this one.
Had a lot of health on Ruler, almost got a clone. But again, not enough. I don't know what to say, it's grasping at straws. It was a good play. They saw the split, they knew that Duro was a little bit out of position there, couldn't really peel for Ruler, but turning it into a big
Ruler? Be so careful. I don't think you get to stand there.
No.
Especially without Nico, even with Nico.
It's a kind of notorious location for Ruler to stand.
Oh, engage potential here onto Diablo, as they're just going to go in on a Kellen, and there's the follow-up from Duro, gets the knock up into the roots, and Keen is on the hunt, and one auto and one Q is enough. Even gets the couple of them, Raptor and Vikla afterwards, and he is not done with this fight himself. He's going to fight Vikla, who gets rooted up and taken down. And Raptor and Clear, the two tanks, just left twiddling their thumbs.
And there was a reason why Ruler wanted to stay. We saw it on full display. The collapse was real, the engage was solid. And Diablo and Kellen are dead, and Diablo's down a flash as Chovy is just gonna walk it off.
Oh no. Now he's just having fun.
You know when you add insult to injury, but then there's one more step. What do we add to that? I don't know, it looks like about a third of Clear's health bar.
Ingrained trauma. I don't know.
Yeah, that may be what it is. I don't want to call this series a choke for BNK, because I don't think that characterizes it well. It's a great performance from Genji, which is what we expected, and Canyon in particular, who is running this series. Every single bit of it, like every single moment, feels so set up by him. But I also just feel we're seeing both a lack of confidence from BNK when they fight, and also sudden decision-making that isn't at the right call. Like, it's the judgment that's missing as well. That's why it feels like they're playing nervous, and why I almost want to use the word choke, but it just feels like instead I should use the word outclassed.
Yeah. Is that really what it does feel like, an outclassing, because BNK are in it until they're absolutely just 100% out of it, you know? And that's the Genji effect. For one reason or another, that's what they will make you feel. And now down 4,000 gold.
Keen's going to get the bottom turret.
Yeah.
It'll be their third of the game.
So maybe down 5,000 gold. Well, not quite, but still. We do have this Infernal Drake coming up here in 10 seconds. And getting that turret
I think they're just
going to make it even easier.
I think they're just going to give it up because they have no way to challenge. Like, Keen is like, when you take your time down there, Canyon, I think you pretty much got this one on your own. They're going to trade a turret for Dragon, but I'm also looking for another turret.
Yeah.
As in the mid lane, the fearsome Lucian draft, not really holding a candle.
I mean, Chovy's like, cool story, bro. I can still one-shot you. Diablo, no! Not like this! I was just saying that he can just one-shot you.
And he does! It's like
Annie with flash!
It's exactly as you say it. And Diablo's so known to try to bait these types of exchanges, so known to try to set these traps to you know, dangle himself out there and say, I'm going to outplay this. But he didn't have flash, and Chovy did.
And now Raptor is he's going to have to flash there.
Don't try to outplay one of the lowest skill ceiling champs on the highest skill ceiling players with the lead he has. Well, you're going to find out, Diablo.
I do like that Chovy here, he expects the dash back,
and
he's ready for it. Like,
slow on the arc is low value, but Diablo's like, I think I got this angle? No.
Oh. Aims it behind him because you can only dash so far, right? So the stun is very reliable.
Thing is, you and I both know Chovy hits that.
Yeah.
And I think Diablo likely knew as well, but...
yeah, it looks silly, and at the same time, I think Diablo knows, as we were talking about, like, if he doesn't try to go for big plays, extremely risky plays, they're just going to lose anyway. So,
and we talked, like, we
just send it, I suppose.
We said all of the threats that Diablo has to deal with. He's only died twice this game, but his damage output is going to be so low. When we look at the post-game stats, unless something changes here, damage to champions is going to be abysmal because he just cannot get close to hit them.
Hey, he pressed culling a couple of times, so maybe, you know, the number will look good. Not that it matters. For the actual outcome of the game, Clear taking up quite a lot, and they saw Canyon over here as well. The bubble going to miss. Clear has to go in and then flash out, and now that's one of their tanks just kind of gone.
Diablo's like, I want to hit them, but it's so risky. there's so many things that can just rip my health bar to 0. He's just trying. He's like trying to hit Keen, and Keen's like, I'm not even going to be in range, by the way.
Yeah.
Now the wraparound is complete. Let's see if you can fight your way on this one.
Okay, that is one way to just die. Flash into the Nico.
Did he think he was going to flash past it when Duro flashed towards him? Or maybe he thought getting closer to them would allow him to kill him fast. I don't know about this.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is a grand finals.
But that did happen, yeah. This is indeed a grand finals. It's
Kellen
still LCK, and it's still Gen G.
I suppose that's good. Plus 15
Is it?
gold.
Yeah, well, King gonna enjoy another kill. And, you know, one of the big hopes
Watch
for BNK is now 0-3.
Diablo is now trapped. He was chasing Keen, trying to get up, and then the rest of the team can't do anything. He flashes into the Pop Blossom.
I mean, it just has to be a fat finger.
Because there's no reason. I mean, he's going to dash like with a Z, maybe fat fingers, but if he flashes up, he can buy space there. If he walks up, he's fine. He's not in range, so...
I just thought he was gonna just flash away, you know?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he could have done that as well, and then he would have just been able to maybe offer some damage there, punish a little bit onto Duro, and see what
like
happens.
culling, you know.
But now he doesn't have flash, so guess what? All the fear we talked about, all the threats, all the danger, all the Cyclone, Tibbers, Pop Blossom, Ruler's damage, by the way, because he's up an item. He can just 1v1 you. Now you don't have flash to get away from any of that. All you got is a dash and a dream, and you want to be dashing towards the enemy champions and killing them if you're Lucian, but especially if you're Diablo, but you're 0-3-1, and you might be 0-3 in this series. Again, if a miracle doesn't happen here for BNK, 6K behind.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the damage because often that's the scariest thing. Like, yeah, Annie can just one combo you, but if Annie's not there, you saw that he wasn't even willing to dash towards an Aatrox, and that's because if you get hit by one Q1, like any sweet spot, you're gonna die because they have so much damage. They're very far ahead. The Aatrox can do it, the Annie can do it, the Unar can do it.
Imagine if they had Infernal Soul too.
Yeah, well, they're probably about to, as the culling is good this time around, and now they're going to try to find Duro. They're going to sweep the clone. But Duro at least did go for the Pop Blossom, so I suppose a calculated trade of ults will give it to him.
I don't know if it's going to be enough to help them secure this dragon, because I don't think that the Emperor's Divide was necessarily going to be what saves them here. The Pop Blossom being gone gives them a little bit of extra space. Gen G just have so much power, though, right now. TP here from Keen is an interesting angle. They're looking to give for Baron, almost, it looks like, at this moment in time.
I mean, I suppose they could. They don't necessarily have to. Duro, awkward spot for him. The root is there. And Ruler's just kind of running at them. There is Canyon going on in, finding the front line. Diablo the first to go, Kellen the second. And I think the wallets are just too heavy. The root comes in, and down goes Vikla. And this is looking like an ace to the side of Gen G. The tanks, if they're alone, can do nothing. And at least Ruler, or Raptor rather, is going to be able to flash his way to safety. But this game can't flash away to safety for BNK. It's looking like a 3-0 tonight here, Wolf.
It does look that way. And what a tragic loss for BNK. But perhaps now they understand how D+ felt yesterday at their mercy.
How cold it gets at the top, as Ruler was talking about.
Well said.
In the trash talk.
Look at Diablo here. It's just that simple.
No flash.
The follow-up is immense. The damage is there. It's 2 autos from Ruler. That's all it needs to finish him off. It's literally that simple. They're that far behind. Without flash, because as you pointed out, you know, they used it when the Pop Blossom situation happened moments before.
Yeah.
I just I'm in awe of Gen G. And yet I think if I said that I watched BNK's best today, it wouldn't be true as well.
Yeah, I think both can be true. I think the second that Gen G come out as strong as they did in Game 1, that's where BNK are going to begin to struggle. Like, I think Game 1 was the closest we had. And Gen G were just like, no, there's no in for you here tonight, guys. Like, this is our final. And they've made that pristinely clear to all of us. We even had some predictions for BNK just because the hype was real. You know, the waters were feeling like BNK, they're looking so strong in that 3-0 against DK, but this is just another level.
We've really created quite large tier gaps between our 1, 2, and 3 in this tournament, haven't we?
Yeah, we definitely have. And Chovy says, you know what? Sion's good enough. I'll just press my buttons onto him. Don't have to overthink it here. Although Keria, I mean, he's pretty tanky, and he's only half his health down, and Vicla's getting free money in bot.
Also has TP. This could be one step for BNK to give them one miracle fight. They'll need so many. Where's that TP, Vicla? They need you. They need your Emperor's Divide. He wants that turret first, but there's a limited amount of time. Gets the bounty. He's backing first. They're just trying to slow this down.
Yeah, maybe hoping that Gen Z are going to peel off of it, but it doesn't seem likely as now we get the TP and Diablo goes in! And that's the damage that they just push him away and immediately just pops like a balloon to the Unara. And you see Vicla as well trying to survive on the right side. He's going to get rooted up, and that'll be the end of him. The quadra kill for Ruler! He is screaming for the penta! And you know they're going to give it to him. Pentakill for Ruler! In the LCK Cup Grand Finals.
A penta in the finals. And I guess Vicla got his Shadow Flame. You know, he put it together. He wasn't going to come to that fight early. He said, I'm getting this turn, I'm going to get Shadow Flame, I'll be right there. But the rest of his team was dead upon arrival. And the Diablo Lucian this time is 0 and 5. And Gen G dominate, crush this finals like they crushed all tournament long. BNK took one game off of them, and that's the only score.